For me, this is a struggle of more than 2 years for women, and I'm very honored today to be among you because we are lucky to have, and I will speak, 3 fantastic women who are going to tell you about their struggle for a better world. I'm going to start by presenting the session, which is going to last all day, by reminding you of the numbers, some known, some not known, some terrible numbers that are terrible today. Today, 3 million girls and women are prisoners of sexual slavery. Today, there are 5,000, between 5 and 10,000 women who every year die victims of honor crimes. In India, 1 woman is burnt alive every 2 hours. Can you imagine? Every 2 hours. The time that we're going to be here today, every 2 hours, a woman in India is going to die burnt alive. We can continue this list for a long continue this horror list for a long, long time. You know, there's a proverb that says that women carry half of heaven. Sometimes this burden is very, very heavy to carry. So today, this session honors all women who are ready, all these women who are ready to do everything to defend liberty and democracy, all these women who are known, some known, some less known, who one day started to resist for a better world, for a world of peace. Today, we will have 3 parts, 3 different sessions around these women of courage. The first session around dignity, the second around the liberty of conscience, and the third for the hope of a more fair world. These 3 sessions, during these sessions, we're going to meet 10 women who are going to make you aware of how your help here today is essential. That means today, evidently, you are going to listen to them. You're going to go back with their stories and their struggles in your hearts. But more than that, you're going to talk about what they do. Try that their word goes beyond this room. So there are many ways, of course, of doing this. Somebody just reminded that since many years there's something my way, which is the book. I really think that we live better when we read than when we don't read. I believe that a book allows us to become conscious and allows us to change reality. Earlier we talked about Mukhtar Mai in Pakistan. Isabel Tolé is going to talk about Asia Bibi, also in Pakistan, which is a complex country. Mukhtar Mai, a few years ago, was condemned to be raped by a tribunal. Yes, you heard well. A tribunal asked that she be raped, and which was, of course, executed by the judges of this tribunal. The New York Times covered this story. We tried to help her. Many editors tried to help, and then we published her book. And if I'm telling you this story, simply because there's something very moving about this story. I went back and went to see her several times in Pakistan when her book was published, when she was named Woman of the Year here in the United States. She told me, Philippe, with this book, I understand that my case is going to be known all over the world. I know that with this book is going to bring me some money, and with this money, I'm not going to take this money for me. I'm going to build schools. We're going to build schools in the middle of the Pakistani Punjab, because it's only through these schools that we will be able tomorrow to create a better world, create a dialogue between those young girls and those young boys. Right now, as we speak, there are 1,000 girls and 800 girls who, at the beginning of this book, 1,800 children who today go to school. And I hope that with these efforts tomorrow, Pakistan, or at least this region of Pakistan, will be a better place to live. There are many women who you're going to listen to today. Many of them have written books, texts. Their speeches have been relayed in the newspapers. I can only encourage them to relay their books, to relay their words, to relay their writings. And since today we're just right beside the UN, I cannot I cannot, I need to make a call to the UNESCO. The UNESCO is one of the UN organs. They are in charge of diffusing culture all over the world. They're also in charge of fighting for dignity. If the UNESCO can listen to us, listen to you, and relay these words all over the world, I think we will have done a long stride. So us literate people, the people from the edition world, we also need international institutions to help us relay the words of these women. I don't want to be much longer. We can talk later. But this morning, during the first session consecrated to dignity, we are going to listen three women, three fantastic women, exceptional women. Jacqueline Kasha, who fights for years in Uganda against the homophobic laws that punish homosexuality with the death penalty. They're going to intervene, the three of them, one after the other. Afterwards, you will listen Ms. Genji, who is a refugee in the United States and who fights so that her husband can come and join her. Her husband is detained in China, and you will listen to her. We're going to start with listening to Mrs. Fangui. Madame Fangui is free since only a few months. She spent 3 years in prison, all alone, in prison, for the only crime of having written and publication. So this shows what we just said before. In certain countries, people are punished today for saying something against the regime. She wrote poems that have touched many people who have supported you. In 2007, you were detained for the first time. She spent 9 months in prison for having supported farmers who were expropriated, who were only asking for justice. Less than a year after, she was arrested again with her husband, this time after a terrible staging and a fake process. She was detained under terrible conditions. Today, last June, just a few months ago, she was freed, and the first words I heard from her that I read in the newspapers was, "I do not regret anything." 3 years of prison. I do not regret, she said. And so before leaving her the floor, I would just like to read an extract of a poem she wrote, and that really touched me, and which is called Up to When. So the poem reads, I clench my heart strong to kill the sadness in the communist jail. All my dreams are drowned. The day grants my thoughts, the night severs my reflections. And she finishes her poem by, oh, my fate of great misfortune, so many curses, bad karma. How to evade? When is my release? So that I find myself. So this poem was written last year. We are very touched to welcome you here today, and we are happy to tell you here that you are in a free world and you have friends here, and you have friends who are very happy to welcome you.